there would be parades to celebrate Black history, and major celebrations where like famous Black thought leaders and celebrities would give speeches, and they'd have parties. It was like festivals going on to celebrate Black history. Welcome to Ill-Equipped History, where two best friends do their best to tell you about things from history while trying to survive. I'm Morgan. My voice broke really badly back there, sorry.
I'm Morgan.
I'm sick again, you guys. The person laughing at me right now is Emileigh, who I thought was my friend, but
no, I do it out of love.
No, I know. I'm laughing at myself. That welcome to Ill-Equipped History, my voice broke so bad.
Y'all can never say you don't get the real us.
Here it is.
Here it is.
I was trying to debate whether we record yesterday or today because I've been under the weather, and I was like, Emileigh texted me and she was like, do you want to record? And I was like, my throat really hurts. Let's wait till tomorrow. But yesterday I sounded like a normal person and today I sound like this. So
it's like you either get to sound good or you get to feel good. You don't do both.
Right. I'm not in pain, thankfully. It's just my voice is doing this weird wobbly thing. I don't know.
It's like, absolutely not.
Oh, you want to record today? Never mind.
Yeah. Screw you and your voice.
How are you, Emileigh?
I've made choices in my life.
More choices.
More choices. And not that I'm busy enough. Y'all know I'm still remodeling a house, right? Trying to finish it to a point where I can be fine with it for the summer. Because once summer hits, house renos come to a pause because we're on the boat, right? Now I'm getting my scuba license certification. I'm taking online classes, and I've already been swimming in a pool. They did say that I made floating look easy. It might be the 40 pounds of fat on my rear end, but I floated for 10 minutes. 10 minutes with ease.
I'm just laughing because, like, floating, to me, it doesn't, I mean, I'm sure you're an excellent floater, Emileigh. This is not a dig at you. When I think of floating, that's literally like, you just lay there, you know? Like,
you do.
Maybe a little bit of strength to, like, keep your limbs extended and, like, your torso up. But, like...
Honestly, I was just playing around and I'd breathe in really deep, so I'd float up higher, and then I'd let air out and I'd sink a little bit. And I just treaded water for a little bit because I was tired of the water in my ears, because I did literally, you had to float for 10 minutes. So yeah. I just starfished, and then I had to swim a lap without fins, 1 lap in the pool, easy peasy. And she was like, have you had training? And I was like, actually, yes, I was on the swim team for a year. And she was like, I can tell you have a good stroke. And I'm like, thank you. And I had to do 9 laps with the fins. And they were like, okay, you're good at snorkeling. That's okay.
Good job. You can swim.
You're gonna be good at this.
Yeah.
But this coming weekend, I get to, like, learn about the equipment.
Oh, put the rebreather in your mouth. Ooh.
Yeah. And Nick and I are kind of doing it together. He started a couple weeks before me, so he's a little more advanced. So I'm working with the dude's wife, who's also been, they tag team teaching people. Okay. So it's 1-on-1. But yeah, so now we're both doing it. So
how exciting.
Excuse me while, like, I'm now going to be...
You learn things.
Oh my God. I feel like I'm back in school. Like, the online courses have, like, videos and things and quizzes, and I have a notepad I'm, like, taking notes on, and I'm like, this is something that I've always wanted to do in my life. Never thought that I would actually get the opportunity to do it. And when I did get the opportunity to do it, I am the busiest I've ever been. And I'm like, you know what?
Why not?
Let's do it anyway.
Why not add just one more thing on the pile?
What's one more thing in the grand scheme of things?
It's been a while since you've ripped a wall out of your house. You could do that again.
Ooh, you know what I did do today? I did actually get on realtor.com and look up the old listing of our house from where,
Oh, the green walls?
I've done a lot of work, guys. Yeah. I'm like, and I am quite proud of myself. So I'm like, you know what? Take it as a win. Don't tear anything else up. Don't do it. Summer is coming.
Let it breathe.
Let it marinate for a minute. I am actually doing baseboard work now, which means I made my own plinths. They're the little decorative pieces at the bottom of baseboards that, whatever. I made my own because I'm sorry, I'm not paying $3 a piece when I need 42 of them. Not happening. Right. So I'm DIYing on a budget. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
That's the monetary cost versus time cost.
Yeah. But I figured it out. And I had a moment of clumsy today, which it's all because I've been working out because of the scuba thing.
Right.
I was walking up the stairs and my right leg just did not lift up high enough. It just didn't. So then my foot caught. And of course that's the foot that's bad, right?
Right.
So my toes, all my crooked little toes caught on the edge of the stairs and bent backwards.
Oh, ouch.
And my son was behind me and he heard me say every cuss word under the sun. And then I remembered he was there. And I said, ignore everything I just said. That just hurt really bad. And he went, okay. And he turned back. He went back into the basement and turned around and pretended none of it happened. He was like, got it. Clear it out of my brain.
Just letting that exit out.
So now I'm tired. My brain is sore and now my toes are sore.
Oh no.
It's okay. But hey, I can swim.
Yeah, you can swim.
There
you go. You can swim. Yes. It's hasn't been quite as hectic in my house, but Kyle and I are both sick. I have some mystery illness that no one knows what it is, and Kyle has the flu. Bona fide.
I'm still shocked it's not the flu. I'm still shocked.
I just had the flu 3 weeks ago. I figured my immune system is prepared against that, but not against everything apparently. It just
something slipped through through the defenses like a Trojan horse.
And then I had to take Jack to the vet this morning.
Oh no.
No, he's okay. It was for a checkup.
Oh, okay.
Just to make sure everything's good. He got his blood work. He got his booty poked at. He was not having a good time. He threw up on my arm, so that was great. He was shaking so bad. I was just talking to the nurse, getting his vitals and stuff, and just telling about some of the concerns we have, and he was shaking so violently he just threw up all over my arm.
Oh, poor buddy.
But he got some treats, and that helped a little bit, and he did a really good job. He got his rabies shot. So he got blood work and a rabies shot and a stool sample and his glands expressed.
Jeez.
He was in for a rough time, and had a good appointment. It was a nice little chunk of change, of course.
Of course.
But he is getting skinny, and he eats plenty, and so the vet was wanting to make sure there's nothing wrong, because he even told me, he's like, usually I'm having the opposite conversation as dogs get older, why are you feeding your pet so much? But we're good with Jack. He gets treats and he free feeds, so he just eats when he wants. He always has access to food, but you can see his little hip bones in his little spine, and I tell him he's scrongly because he's getting that little old man hunch. He just turned 16 last week.
Oh goodness. Yeah. You know,
Old
they
little
do
man.
get like that sometimes. Mama Jimmy had a cat, Cappy, and I don't know if we've talked about Cappy on the pod, but he lived to be like 22 years old. He was an old cat. He looked like the Crypt Keeper's cat. He had like 3 teeth left.
Oh.
He had patchy fur. He made noises cats shouldn't make while they're still on this side of Earth. Like, he sounded like a zombie cat. He'd, like, it was so bad.
My grandparents had a cat named Oliver, and he was about 18, and he was like,
Yeah.
like the,
Yeah, like a...
yeah, he was older than I was.
Like, are you a frog? Are you okay?
Yeah.
What happened?
And he drooled a lot.
Oh, boy.
Anytime you pet him, he was just drooling everywhere. But
Yeah, Cappy was one of those cats. It's like, if I pet you, will I turn into a zombie? Like, is this how is this? And he also wasn't very nice either. So
he was old.
He liked me. That was it. Me and Mama Jimmy. And he even bit me sometimes. So it was like, I think we're gonna say you don't want to be touched right now.
Yeah. He's like, leave me alone.
Yeah, vivid memories of petting this cat as a child. And he'd just be done. And he'd just turn around and bite me instead of walking away. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you came to me, dude.
Cats are so funny.
They are.
Jack is like a cat. He's the most cat-like dog I've ever met.
Yeah, I can see that.
Anyway, we've been talking for over 10 minutes, so maybe we should get into our episode for today while I still have my voice.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't waste the voice on ramblings of swimming and cats and dogs.
So let's get into a very, very important man in Black history. You could probably say the most important man, as we'll get into.
Okay.
2 historians are arguing about history. One is a white man. The other is a black man. Psh, white history has made much more significant impact on the world as a whole.
You think that because you do not look at Black history. If you'll allow me to just tell you,
Black history has not made any significant effect on the world.
you're wrong. Black history is so much more important than you realize, and there is more of it than you realize. You just don't know because you refuse to open your mind and look at the facts.
I bet there's not even enough Black history to fit into a day of study.
Let me prove you wrong.
The Black historian's name was Carter G. Woodson. He would go on to be known as the father of Black history, and he is the founder of what we now know as Black History Month.
Woo!
Yay! Have you ever heard of Carter G. Woodson?
Not a day in my life.
Me neither, until I saw a poster about him in one of my schools. And I was like, why do I not know about this man?
Seriously. I mean, it makes sense. Why would we not know? We celebrate Black History Month every year. Why are we not taught this?
We wouldn't have it if it wasn't for him.
Well, I'm glad for him.
Yes. So let's talk about Carter G. Woodson, the father of Black history. He was born Carter Godwin Woodson on December 19th, 1875 in New Canton, Virginia. His parents were Anna Eliza Riddle Woodson and James Woodson. Both of his parents had been formerly enslaved. He was the 4th of 7 children. The family had moved around a bit, around West Virginia and Ohio, the Chesapeake River area. There was just a lot of stuff going on. So by the time they made it to New Canton, Virginia, they'd already lived in like several different places. And they'd already had 2 children pass away to whooping cough because the place that they lived in Huntington, Virginia was extremely unsanitary. Surprisingly, his mother was literate. I think I was reading that while she had been enslaved, she had been taught how to read. And his father was illiterate, but he was extremely intelligent and Carter got a lot of inspiration and kind of wisdom from his father. James Woodson was actually able to purchase a 20-acre farm with his earnings from sharecropping.
Wow.
So, you know, his family is trying to do what they can to better their lives. It was tricky, though. They didn't all, like, the land that James Woodson purchased wasn't super fertile.
Okay.
So usually they had enough, like, just for their own family, but they didn't have enough to really, like, sell a lot.
Okay.
But sometimes they did have to sell what they grew, and that meant there wasn't always enough food for the family. So there were times that Carter, like, would sometimes have to go into the woods to, like, find enough to eat. So they really did struggle, but they were working. James Woodson was also a carpenter. He was actually a Civil War veteran as well. And so after he bought the farm, he also, in addition to farming, laid foundations for homes, and that's how they tried to
make money,
earn their living.
Yeah.
So Carter was very inspired by the way his father carried himself, and James Woodson demanded respect from the white people in the area. He's like, you're not going to treat me inferior because I'm a black man. You're going to treat me with respect. And Carter really, like, looked up to that aspect of his father. Carter did attend school as a child, but it was very inconsistent because all the children had to work on the farm.
Right.
So the only days he was able to really go to school were on, like, rainy or snowy days when they couldn't really do farm work, or during the winter.
Right.
When there wasn't anything to farm. So his schooling was pretty inconsistent, and as he got older, I think he was around the age of, like, 13 or 14, his family moved to West Virginia, and Carter found work as a coal miner.
Oh, that's so young.
I know. And they, like, he would alternate, like, helping with the railroad with his brother Robert in the 1890s. So at this point, he's, like, 15 or so.
Mm-hmm.
While in the coal mines, he befriended an old black Civil War veteran who was illiterate. And Carter, you know, he had gone to school a little bit, so he could read. And he would read the newspapers to this veteran, and that's how he kind of started learning about the world and learning what was happening in the U.S. and what was happening with other black people around the country. So he started getting really interested in what was happening with black people in the U.S. and around the world. Despite Carter's lack of schooling, like his father, he was extremely intelligent and was largely self-taught. He, according to NAACP.org, he, quote, had mastered common school subjects by the age of 17 by himself. When he was 20, he enrolled at Frederick Douglass High School, and he finished 4 years of high school in 2 years.
Damn.
Because he just knew, like, he is sharp as a tack. Very, very intelligent. And ended up graduating in 1896. He was one of 2 who graduated from Douglass High School that year.
2?
2.
Wow.
Yeah. So after he graduated, they were like, hey, do you want to be principal?
What?
Yeah. So he, like, taught and was a principal at his former high school.
Cool.
And then eventually moved to Kentucky. In Kentucky, he attended Berea College. He earned a Bachelor of Literature degree in 1903. And then he went to get his Bachelor of Arts at the University of Chicago.
Okay.
So he has 2 bachelor's degrees. After he graduated from the University of Chicago, he worked for the U.S. War Department in the Philippines as like a school superintendent person. Mm-hmm. So he, like, headed schools over in the Philippines. And then after he was done in the Philippines, he went to a few different countries. I couldn't find what he was, like, he went to Asia and Africa and Europe, but I couldn't find, like, where specifically he went on those continents and what he did. I don't know if it was for work or for pleasure.
Sounds like he was just having a good time.
I hope he was. And he was fluent in Spanish and French.
Okay, so what?
Smarty farty over here.
Yeah, seriously.
I do know that he actually studied for a little while at Sorbonne University in Paris in the history department around 1907. So that's where he started getting his love of history.
Yeah.
He went back to the University of Chicago to get his master's degree in 1908, where he specialized in European history. Then he went on to Harvard.
Harvard?
Yes, Harvard, as a black man in the very early 1900s.
Incredible.
You can probably imagine he did face a lot of racism.
Of course.
At Harvard.
Yes.
But that didn't stop him. His doctoral dissertation was titled The Disruption of Virginia, and it was about how, like, Virginia and West Virginia separated.
Okay.
And apparently it was a very impactful dissertation. I tried to read it. Geopolitics puts me to sleep, so I couldn't get through it. But he received his doctorate in 1912 from Harvard.
Wow.
He was the second black American to get a doctorate from Harvard. The first was W.E.B. Du Bois.
Wow. What an incredible person.
And according to Smithsonian Magazine, he was the only person of enslaved parentage to earn a PhD in history from an American higher education institution.
The only?
Mm-hmm. To earn a PhD in history from an American college or university.
Wow.
I know. He's making waves.
Okay, sir.
I know. And I think he stayed in education for the rest of his life. After he got his doctorate from Harvard, he just kind of bounced around from different schools. He was the principal of the Armstrong Manual Training School in Washington, D.C. He kind of stayed in the D.C. area for a while. He was a dean at Howard University, the College of Arts and Sciences. Then he was the dean at West Virginia Collegiate Institute, which would later be West Virginia State University. He's just kind of going all over the place. But he finally retired from teaching in 1922 to work on developing his own association, which I'll get into in just a second.
How old was he at this point? What year was he born?
1857. 1875. I'm so sorry.
1875. In his late 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because he didn't even get his high school diploma until he was like 21 or so.
Right.
So while he was bouncing around from these jobs, it seemed like his family stayed pretty close to him. So, and he was very, very close to his father, who again is illiterate. So, or what was illiterate. So every Sunday, Carter would go with his father, bring him breakfast at his railroad job, and read him the newspaper. I know.
A smart, kind family man.
I know.
Oh my God.
Here's where we get into some nonsense. Again, he loves history. One of his 4 degrees is in history. Mm-hmm. And so he was a paying member of the American Historical Association. Like, he paid dues. And he went to go to a conference. Because, again, he's a paying member. And when he arrived, they were like, oh, no. No. Not you. You can't come in.
What?
Yeah. And he said, fuck you. So he founded his own.
Hell yeah.
Because, like, he knew that, like, Black history was not often talked about in the United States. Especially,
of course it's not.
You know, only 50 years from the Civil War at this point. Right. So in 1915, he founded the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History, which is now called the Association for the Study of African American Life and History. And I do want to say, I am reading the names of these things as they are, just so you all are aware. I'm not saying these in a way to indicate a slur or anything. This is just how it is, what it was in his time. So he formed his own association, and he was like, all right, I'm doing my own thing. Very shortly after, he wrote his first book called The Education of the Negro prior to 1861. And this was a very, very powerful book of the time. Because, and also, he formed his own journal because no white publications would publish it, so he made his own journal.
He's like, fuck it, I'll do it myself.
That's basically what it is. Like, you're not going to allow me into your white organization? Fine, I'll make my own black organization. How about that?
Yeah, fine. Yeah. I don't need you anyway.
Right, exactly. So his book, I've also seen it titled The Miseducation of the Negro.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically about the kind of indoctrination that black people were experiencing at the time and before the Civil War, where they were internalizing these racist values where white people were more superior, white people were better than black people. And so I have this kind of long quote that I got from Smithsonian Magazine. It's from his book. Quote, "Taught the same economics, history, philosophy, literature, and religion which have established the present code of morals, the Negro's mind has been brought under the control of his oppressor. The problem of holding the Negro down, therefore, is easily solved. When you control a man's thinking, you do not have to worry about his actions. You do not have to tell him not to stand here or go yonder. He will find his proper place and will stay in it."
Ugh. Yeah, that's...
Yeah. And the kind of, the rest of his life would be dedicated to changing this to, and not just like get black history into more of the narrative, but to really help people understand and like kind of break this indoctrination of oppression that has kind of been pervasive up to this point. And that black history is not less than or inferior to white history.
Yeah.
So, like I said, because there was not a white-owned journal that would publish his work, he formed his own journal called the Journal of Negro History, which is now the Journal of African American History in 1916. So, cool. Like, a year after he formed his own history association, now he has his own scientific journal. And there's also, he created what's the word I'm thinking of? Like a database for lesson plans for black studies as well.
Okay.
So, like, he's just like, all right, like, we got journals, we got an association, now I'm producing academic materials for you guys to help teach this kind of stuff. Yeah. Just boom, 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 boom. And he formed his own black-owned press publishing company called the Associated Publishers Press.
Well, he's on a roll. He might as well.
I mean... Like, what can't he do? What other,
Nothing.
Like, black-specific businesses can he form? Probably all of them.
Probably all of them. And you know what? Let him cook.
This man wrote 19 books.
What?
19 books and dozens of articles in his life.
What?
Of course, his most famous being The Miseducation of the Negro.
Yes.
But he had several others. I do feel uncomfortable saying the Negro over and over again, so look up his book titles.
Yes.
And also, Carter was a religious man. Mm-hmm. He was a very devout Christian. He was a Sunday school teacher, president of like the Board of Deacons for a church in West Virginia. But he also questioned the institution of religion and how people would use the Bible to support segregation and support slavery. So while he himself was a Christian, he also like questioned like the some of the doctrine that was used to support the subjugation of he and other black people. And he even like went after different institutions like the YMCA because, like, the YMCA, I think, started as, like, a black association or was, like, unsegregated. But he was, like, you're giving into the system of white oppression by, like, kind of following their rules.
Right.
In a way. He was very educated about how, like, the system of oppression has affected how black people would, like, create and gain into power by, like, kind of accommodating to white people. Right. So he was very knowledgeable about that and really used that as his platform to help educate people. So he had a conversation, and this was presented in our skit, with a white historian named Edward Channing. Okay. And Carter and Edward were in an argument, and Edward said that Black people don't have a history.
Okay, well, fuck him.
Right. And it's also just like not true.
Yeah.
Like, you have, I mean, you have the entire continent of Africa at a minimum. Like, there's history there, of course.
Yeah. And so many Black people have made significant contributions to society. Like, you
Right.
can't gloss over that. You can't just be like, oh, well, it didn't happen.
Right, exactly.
Are you kidding me?
Right. So Carter disagreed, and Channing was like, prove it. And this is a quote from an essay that Carter wrote in 1926. It says, quote, "If a race has no history, if it has no worthwhile tradition, it becomes a negligible factor in the thought of the world, and it stands in danger of being exterminated."
Oh, shit.
So he was like, people need to know.
Yeah.
About this. So in February of 1926, he worked to found Negro History Week and encouraged schools and other institutions to specifically study Black history. So he selected February because it was the birth month of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln.
Okay.
So that's where it starts. And 1926, the first week started to celebrate Black history in the United States, both the good and the bad. Like, he's like, let's not like cherry pick. We need to look at all of it. We need to look at the heroes of Black history. Also need to study the history of like slavery in this country. It's very important for our history.
Important across all things of history. You have to look at the good and the bad.
Right.
And the uncomfortable and the, all of it.
Right.
I'm glad he led with, let's look at everything. Hold it accountable. Hold it in front of your face. This is it.
Because it is their history. Like,
yes.
I know people want to try to hand wave it, but slavery is a very important part of history in this country, and it needs to be acknowledged. It can't, if you sweep it under the rug and pretend it never happened, then you're saying it wasn't important, and it affected millions of people.
Yeah. And you can't even have the proper empathy for the situation if you don't know anything about it.
Exactly. Or if you don't think it was as, just like not worth talking about. Like exactly what he said. If you don't have a history, then you're at risk of being eliminated.
Right.
And this was extremely well received around the country. A lot of teachers asked for more. Like, give us more materials, give us more lesson plans.
Yeah. Amazing.
And the week actually even started building up. It was a lot different than what we see in present day, which we'll get into. But as time went on, there would be parades to celebrate Black history, and major celebrations where like famous Black thought leaders and celebrities would give speeches, and they'd have parties. It was like festivals going on to celebrate Black history. And not just Black American history, but Black history from around the world, from Europe and Asia and Africa and, everywhere. Like, celebrate all Black history. This was kind of a double-edged sword for Carter, because this push for this history week became his life mission. It was all encompassing. And he started becoming he already was involved in his community, but now like he was super involved in his community. And before, he was relying on donations from primarily white philanthropists, but because he was making waves, those donations stopped. So he had to start relying on donations from the community to keep this going, because like generating materials is not free, he needs to live.
Yeah.
But he had close relationships with other Black scholars and other, again, thought leaders and people from around the country. He really wanted this to spread not just to Black schools, because again, like this is the early 1920s, so schools are still segregated. But he wanted this to expand not just to Black schools, but to white schools. He wanted white people to learn the importance of Black history, because, again, it's so important.
It's very important. Yes.
It's so important. And his hope was that, if white people, took the time to really learn about all the wonderful things, like the good and the bad that came from Black history. With that would come tolerance and understanding and compassion, which sadly there was not. I mean, there was some, but I mean, we're talking about the Jim Crow era.
Yeah.
And segregation is rampant at this point.
Yeah.
And he was really working to fight against some of the lingering beliefs that persisted. Like, one thought that was very persistent, we've talked about before, was, it's really gross to say this. There's lingering beliefs that Africans in general and people of African descent had very little contribution to the world at large.
Ugh.
And that slavery was actually a good thing, especially for the people coming from Africa, because what were they going to do over there? Like, run around in the wild? They came over here to the US, and now, like, it's a good thing that happened.
That they were stolen.
Right.
From their homes and their families. Don't get me started. Ugh.
And what's really sad is that, like, again, these beliefs had, like, Black people they're being indoctrinated, essentially. Yeah. They were internalizing these beliefs, or they were even like, it's a good thing that, like, we were slaves because now we're over here and, like, we have a chance now.
Right. Well, if you're born into that, that's all you know. And if that's beat into your head.
Right. And if that's all that the oppressors are saying, like, you needed us to tell you what to do. What else were you going to do? Like, you're going to know what you're taught. So that really was he was like, this is so, so important, which is, it's true. It's so, so important. And he was hoping with time as well, like, as this week became more popular, that it would just start becoming more integrated with school curriculums, and you wouldn't need a dedicated week. Like, you would learn Black history alongside white history throughout the year, and it didn't need its own dedicated week to be a landmark. It's like, oh yeah, this is it's all American history, or it's all world history. We don't need to separate it between Black and white. It's all history.
Yeah.
So for a long time, it was very, very successful. And by the 1940s, they were even selling, like, kits where they had, like, posters and, like again, like, curriculums that teachers could follow that you could just purchase. And there is a historian who is one of Carter's historians. His name is Pero G. Dagbovy. And he said that this History Week likely had a lot more impact than our modern day Black History Month. There was a lot more engagement on the behalf of students. Like, the students were encouraged to do a lot of their own research and, like, share their findings with their classmates. That was how, like, the curriculum was led. Mm-hmm. And now it's just like, all right, we have posters up. We might do, like, a couple lessons on some people. Like, when I was a kid, it was Wilma Rudolph, Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks. Jackie Robinson was a big one. I remember maybe a little talk about Harriet Tubman and some other people like Frederick Douglass. But, like, there's not, like, I can't tell you anything about Frederick Douglass except, like, he argued with people, really.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Well, we didn't know anything about Harriet Tubman, really, until last week.
Right. Because, like, now, I think now, and this is kind of just my own opinion, now that there's, like, a dedicated month, it's like, okay, like, here's the month to talk about Black history, and then, like, it's not talked about again.
Yeah.
We don't have the rest of the year to talk about Black history. We talk about...
It's not integrated like he wanted it to, and I think if it was, it would be better.
I think so, too. And, like, doing more of these deep dives into these specific people outside of February.
Yeah.
And it's still important. Like, this isn't me saying, like, Black History Month isn't important. It is.
Yeah.
But it's not what he was wanting it to be.
It's turned into, like, we celebrate, and we're like, yay! Black history! But then we don't really learn that much about it. It's just turned into, like, what it feels like a celebration, which is amazing, and I love that. And we need that, too. But the Black history does need to be integrated into
Right.
our
Beyond
daily
February.
discussions. Yes, every day, our discussions.
As much as white history or
Exactly.
Latino history or Asian history. I mean, like, we just need to talk about the history of the peoples in America, in
All
the world.
history.
All history.
History doesn't mean just U.S. history.
Right.
It does not. There's history everywhere.
Exactly. So, my last section is his death and his legacy. Mm-hmm. Carter never married or had children. From what I saw, he wasn't, like, the friendliest, warmest guy.
Oh.
He was just very serious.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't seem like an asshole. He was just dedicated. His only passion was Black history, essentially.
Okay.
He didn't have time for anything else. Which I'm seeing this as a pattern. First with George Washington Carver and now with Carter G. Woodson. Like, they're just laser focused on their passion.
Yeah. Well, and even Harriet Tubman, she didn't have children biologically. She didn't adopt a child until she was, like, in her 50s.
Right.
Or 40s. With her 25-year-old husband. So, still love that for her. But, anyway.
So, on April 30th, 1950, at the age of 74, Carter Woodson died from a heart attack.
Ugh.
And he was buried at Lincoln Memorial Cemetery. After his death, the movement for the holiday started gaining momentum, especially during the Civil Rights Movement.
Yeah.
And in 1976, Gerald Ford was the first president to officially recognize Black History Month in a public address.
Wow.
He kind of started it, and every president since then has acknowledged Black History Month. And he said it was a way to, quote, seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout our history.
Beautiful.
Right. In 1986, Congress signed Black History Month into law. Carter got a postage stamp in February of 1984. His home, which was it's a 3-story row house in the Shaw neighborhood of Washington, D.C., is now part of the National Park Service and is the Carter G. Woodson home. It's now a library and a training center for historians and scholars, which I think is just I love that.
He would love that too. He was such like a history education buff. Like, it was just his thing.
Yes. He has a lot of things named after him because he is so respected. There's the Carter G. Woodson Memorial Park in D.C., which is founded by Congress in 2003. There's the Carter G. Woodson Institute at the University of Virginia, the Dr. Carter G. Woodson African American Museum in St. Petersburg, Florida, and there's others. Those were just some big ones I saw. The Association for the Study of African American Life and History, which is the current association of what he founded in 1915, actually decides the theme of Black History Month every year. So it's still active, it's still around, and they're still actively participating in Black History Month.
Amazing.
Actually, let me look and see what the Black History Month 2026, what's their theme this year. So this year, this is according to the ASALH website, this year's theme is A Century of Black History Commemorations.
Wow.
Because this is the 100th year anniversary of Negro History Week.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
What a good month, like what a good year to do this topic.
I know. I didn't even make that connection when I was doing my research. This is the 100th year anniversary.
Wow.
It says Dr. Carter Godwin Woodson, George Cleveland Hall, William B. Hartgrove, Jesse E. Moreland, Alexander L. Jackson, and James E. Stamps institutionalized the teaching, study, dissemination, and commemoration of Black history when they founded the ASNLH on September 9th, 1915.
Yeah, a century, a literal century of celebrating Black history, and dude didn't even think that it could fill up one day.
What a jerk.
What a jerk.
And it's so funny, like, not that we're just going to limit, like, talking about Black history to February.
Of course not.
That would go against everything that we spoke about today. But I keep thinking of like, oh, this would be a great person to talk about. This will be a great person to talk about. This will be a great person to talk about. So throughout the year, we'll as we talk about other things, we'll spatter in some amazing people or amazing events in history.
Y'all know we don't limit ourselves to any topic, so
no, we're talking about everything.
That's kind of the point, is everything.
Oh, they already have next year's too.
Oh, what is it?
From Black print culture to digital Blackness.
Okay. I bet that's really hard to pick every year.
Yeah. It seems to be just more broad.
Yeah.
But they have oh gosh, there's a huge list. They have every theme since 1928.
Wow.
Listed. Let's see. Last year's was African Americans in labor. Year before that was African Americans and the arts. 2023 is Black resistance. 2022, Black health and wellness. 2021, the Black family, representation, identity, and diversity. 2020, African Americans and the vote. So it looks like it's just kind of going across like broad themes.
Right.
Different elements in history. 2013, it was the Emancipation Proclamation and the March on Washington.
You know what? I'm just making some connections right now. I'm going to be so for real. I didn't know that there were themes every year.
I didn't either.
Why are we not taught according to the themes? Why is it the same 5 people, which absolutely talk about those same 5 people, those 5 people for sure. Why are we not taught a broader, like, hey, this year is African Americans in labor. What if that was last year, whatever it was. Why did we not talk specifically about people we had never talked about before in these settings at school?
Right. Because, like, I'm looking at the themes when we were kids, and, like, I do think some are, like, I don't know, in 2003 when we were 10 or in 2002, is The Color Line Revisited, Is Racism Dead? That is a bit of a heavy topic for, like, 9-year-olds. But looking into, like, later themes, 2004 is talking about the 50th anniversary of Brown versus Board of Education, which is crazy that 2004 was the 50th anniversary of Brown versus Board of Education that desegregated public schools. That is wild to me.
Whoa.
We talked about that last year with Thurgood Marshall.
Yes.
2005, the Niagara Movement. 2006, a tribute to Black fraternal, social, and civil institutions. 2007, From Slavery to Freedom, Africans in the Americas. 2011 was African Americans in the Civil War.
That would have been such a cool topic to dive into.
Yeah.
As a senior in high school, I would have ate that up.
I don't even remember talking about Black history in high school. Like, in elementary school, they have, like, the posters and, you know, like, the broad topics or the videos that they will, like, have us watch. Or maybe, like, the little books we would read about a certain person.
Yeah.
Like Jackie Robinson.
It's just a celebration. It's not an education.
Right.
It's just a, yay!
Yeah.
Not a, this is, learn about these people, which is what he wanted.
What happened to the parades? We should bring the parades back.
Any excuse for a good parade. I'm here for it.
Yes. There's so many parades. We should have a Black History parade. That would be, God, that would be amazing, honestly.
Oh my God. Yes.
Like, I'm picturing, like, a Rosa Parks float.
Okay. Yes.
And she's, like, stomping on buses.
I love it. And just very quietly saying, no.
No.
No. You know what? Rosa Parks didn't have any kids either.
She didn't.
Wow.
Wow. All 4 people we talked about this month
didn't have any biological children.
So dedicated to their craft.
Yes. In a time where everyone was having 15 children.
Mm-hmm. Carter was one of 7.
Listen, these 2 I've got, Make me want to holler sometimes. My daughter took her Switch to school today.
Oh, jeez.
Knowing she shouldn't, walked through the door and tried to sneak her backpack into her room, which is abnormal because it has a home, to take the Switch out. I caught her immediately.
6-year-olds ain't that sneaky.
No. I'm like, you are acting real suspicious right now. And she hugged it tighter and ran.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
100%.
Don't be suspicious.
Like, ma'am.
Oh, man.
Ma'am. Yeah, I don't think kids would have distracted them from their cause. I get it.
Kids are very distracting. The problem is you don't have a farm to put them to work on.
True.
I know you try by like having them dig up rocks and
right.
such, but
I did buy a blackberry bush the other day, and I definitely had my son dig the hole for that. So, and he ate it up. He loved it. I was like, you can dig all the holes.
Yeah.
And my daughter likes pulling weeds, and I told her I'd give her some money for pulling weeds. Mama's knees aren't as good as they used to be. So
you're doing your best in modern society to put them to work on your land.
We also took them to scuba lessons the other day, and we will not be doing that again.
Oh, no.
Because they were
trying
supposed
to manage
just
your
swim.
Kids from the pool.
They're like it's a free swim for you. Just leave us alone. You're fine. We're keeping eyeballs on you, but leave us alone. Every 3 minutes I was getting interrupted. Yeah. Was Nick getting interrupted? No. Yeah. Just me. Mom,
it's
look
so
at
funny
this.
That they want nothing to do with you, but at the same time they demand a monopoly on your attention.
Yes. My son swam over to me 3 times just to ask for a hug. I'm trying to show this woman that I know how to swim and snorkel so I can get my scuba certification. Sir, swim your butt back over there.
Mom, it's been 20 seconds since you last hugged me. What is this?
Yeah. Yeah. No, and what's bad is I will not, if I'm at home and the kids are at home, they will not be talking to me at all. Right. If I get on the phone, hey, Mom, look at me. Mom, hey, Mom, can you, Mom?
Because something's taking your attention and they can't have that.
Yeah. Sometimes my son will just be like, do you want to come sit with me while I play Legos?
Oh.
Which is the sweetest thing. And sometimes I do, I'll take a book in his bedroom and I'll read.
Yeah.
And he'll just, be doing his thing. He just wants me in there. And it's so sweet. Sir, I am busy. I cannot always do that.
Right.
Yeah. I should get a farm.
You will at some point. You're just going to start developing all the trees in your backyard. All right, this is a farm now.
I thought that's where your tiny home was going to go.
Oh, that's true. There's a lot of trees back there. My tiny home can go past the farm.
Yeah, I'll run an extension cord to you.
Okay. Might need to hook it up a few different times.
Yeah, we'll get the good ones, the long ones.
Was it you? I was making the joke about having an external plug for a generator.
Yes.
A plug to the house.
Plug it in.
You just plug into your house. That's fine.
I don't need that. I have my husband. Here, please fix. Thank you.
Do the technical engineer stuff. Thanks.
I was talking with my mother-in-law today. We went to brunch. And I was like, we were talking about how, when my mama passed away, she didn't know how to pump gas. Mm-hmm. You're a little too spoiled, I think, mama. When Papa died, a teenager, had to teach her how to pump her own gas. And she got it down, but, that man spoiled her rotten. So I was like, you know what? I do everything on my own. And then I got to thinking about it, and I was like, no, not once have I ever dealt with car insurance. Or health insurance. Not once. I went straight from dad's insurance to my husband's insurance. And you know what? That's not my business.
It's because you got married before the age of 27.
Yes.
Or 26, whenever they kick you off marriage. Because you got married when you were 26, 25, 23. I don't know.
I had
age.
2 kids before I got kicked off of my dad's insurance. So when I had my daughter, I was on 2 primary insurances. She was basically free.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I'm like, oh, no, I am kind of spoiled, because if you ask me what kind of car insurance I have, I don't know. My husband pays for that. I just make sure it gets paid. That's... Mm-hmm. Did I, do anything to make sure we got this house? No. My husband provided. But by golly, I'm fixing it.
You had your Panera salary.
Yeah. Yeah, what was I gonna do? Should we do socials?
Yeah, my voice is starting to go out, so we should do socials.
Yeah. Okay, let's do socials. You can find us on Facebook,
Ill-Equipped History Podcast Group and page.
Instagram,
at Ill-Equipped History.
TikTok,
at Ill-Equipped History.
Gmail,
ill-equippedhistory@gmail.com.
and Patreon.
Patreon.com/ill-equippedhistory.
Slash.
It was funny. I was singing earlier, and Kyle was like, "Stop singing. You have to preserve your voice." And I just kept singing at him, and he was like, "Stop it."
What, are you going on stage later?
I just had a song stuck in my head, and I had to sing it out loud. And he was like, "You're gonna hurt yourself. Stop it."
Oh my God.
If you liked this, which you better have, learn something new about Black history you didn't know before.
Yeah.
There's tons of it.
Oh my gosh, tons. We haven't even scratched the surface.
No, not at all. Like, there's so many people I can't wait for us to research. And just events and stuff. I've got some books I can't wait to read. I'm really excited about. I was so excited about one book. I ended up buying 2 copies of it at different times. I was like, oh, I need to buy this book. And I bought it. And like a month later, oh, I need to buy this book. And I bought it. And I was like, oh, I have 2 versions of the same book.
One's for taking notes and one's for look-sees now.
See, you got it. I can highlight one copy of my book and not feel bad about it.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's why I do like having the physical copy of an audiobook, not only to take notes, but it's like a trophy.
Yeah.
I finished it.
Yeah. Look at what I have here.
Look what I did. I read that.
With my own 2 eyeballs.
And my brain. Okay. Go learn some things. And be like Carter.
Yeah. Dedicate your life to your passion.
Yes. Whatever that passion may be.
Yes.
Okay, bye.